Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today's video I am so excited about because we are going to be ranking all of the popular book series and books that I've read in the last year or so. This trend I have seen going around on YouTube and it is so fun. If there's one thing I love to do, it is complain about books and rant about books. So without further ado, let's begin the ranking. I have my handy dandy laptop and I'm ready to go. So here you can see we have our I can't count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 tiers. Now you're probably used to seeing 5 tiers, but we're shaking things up a little bit. We have, okay, I'll walk you through the different levels we have. So at the top we have a must-read book. These are the books I gave 5 stars to. I will not take any criticism on these books and they are my absolute favorites. Next up we have It Was Good. These are 4-star reads. I enjoyed them. They weren't perfect, but they're definitely still something I would recommend. And then we have the okay tier. That's 3 stars, It was fine. It didn't really grab me, but, it's good for what it was. And then we have These are 2 stars, These are books. Would I recommend them? No. Are they bad books? No, they just weren't for me. And then at the bottom we have the DNF, which is books I didn't finish or a series that I didn't finish and I stopped reading halfway through. And then down the bottom we have Book Jail. Now Book Jail, these are for the books that are so diabolical and so horrid that I wouldn't wish them upon my worst enemy. And I feel like the Book Jail is going to be really controversial. Right, let us start the ranking. So first up we have Broken Bonds. Now this is a series. This was popular on BookTok a year or so ago. I have to admit I did read books 1 and 2 and I stopped reading halfway through book 3. So this is going to go in the DNF section because I didn't finish it. The series I did not finish. And Broken Bonds was pretty garbage, I'm not going to lie. The plot was non-existent. The magic system was so unplanned out. It just, not for me, and the romance was not for me. Okay, next up we have Night Angel Nemesis. Now, I don't know if this one was super popular on BookTok, but it is a new release. It came out at the end of 2023, I believe, and it is the first book in a new series that Brent Weeks is writing, and it carries on from the last book in the Night Angel trilogy, which is my favorite trilogy ever. I gave this 4 stars. It was good. It wasn't perfect, but I loved it, and I loved that it picked up so close to where the first trilogy finished. Mistborn trilogy. That is a must read. Mistborn trilogy is phenomenal. I gave book 1 4 stars and book 2 and 3 5 stars. Brandon Sanderson is a genius. Mistborn, if you haven't read it, what are you doing? Anyway, next book is Blood Orange. Okay, this is a Dracula modern romance retelling with witches and vampires, and I think I gave this book, book 1 3 stars, but I gave book 2 2 stars. It's a duology. I'm going to put it in the pile just because book 2 was really unnecessary. I feel like it could have been a standalone. Serpent and the Wings of Night. This is so popular and book 2 recently came out. I haven't read book 2 and I don't think I'll be reading book 2. Book 1 was okay. It's not amazing. It is Hunger Games meets vampires meets ACOTAR. Everyone has wings. I don't know. It was fine. Okay, The Witch Collector, again, that was okay. I'd probably put it behind Serpent and the Wings of Night. It's not amazing. Again, it's witches and witch hunters. Wow. It is a romantasy and I'm kind of a bit over the romantasy genre, so unfortunately I think it's gonna go there. The Thursday Murder Club. Okay, this is a must read. I have finished the entire series. There's I think 5 books in the series or 4 books. They were all so fun. I love the characters in the Thursday Murder Club. So if you haven't heard of it, it's about a bunch of older people living in a retirement home and they solve murders. So what is not to love? Yeah, that is a must read. I probably wouldn't put it up there in front of Mistborn because Mistborn's amazing, but 100% a must read. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Okay. This was okay. I would put it in front of these two. It was like fine. It was 3 stars. I can see that the whole world would be amazing. I haven't read any more than book 1 and I plan to, but for now it's going to go there. Indigo Ridge. Indigo Ridge is... I did DNF the series. I read book 1 and book 2, but I haven't read any more than that. It's probably better than Broken Bonds. That's kind of disrespectful to Broken Bonds. Indigo Ridge is fine. It's like a small town country romance. I have nothing to say about it. Like, it was fine, but I'm not going to be continuing the series. Haunting Adeline. Yeah, I think we can all agree that goes into book Jail. I don't need to say anything about that because if you know, you know. And if you don't know, I'm jealous of you because that is 500 pages I will never get back in my life. Oh no, another one. Book Jail from Blood and Ash. Now, whoever, Jennifer Armentrout, I don't know how you say her name, she just did a brain dump into a Google Doc and published it. There are spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes and like sentence structure mistakes in this book that you would not expect from like a traditionally published book. This book feels like a fan fiction, except the person who wrote it didn't get their pen license in grade 6, and that is all I'll be saying. There is no plot. Book Jail. Okay, Dracula. Dracula is eh. I'm going to put it in front of Blood Orange though, because this is the original and I feel like it would be disrespectful to put the original behind an adaptation. So yeah, I mean, it's a classic, but is it amazing? No. How to Kill Your Family. This is okay. I'd put it in front of The Witch Collector because it was like fun. I think I gave this 3 stars. It's like a fun little like crime book from the perspective of the serial killer. You know, for what it is, it's okay. I won't be reading it ever again. There's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, moving on. Okay, the next book is Caraval. This is so popular on BookTok, the whole trilogy, and my sister-in-law loves Caraval. No, I'm sorry, she loves the spin-off series, but it's like the same characters in it. Now, I finished the whole trilogy. It was it good? No, it was okay. I would put this here, behind Assassin's Apprentice, in front of Serpent and the Wings of Night. The characters kind of irked me, and the writing style irked me. The writing style was like really flowery and descriptive, which a lot of people like, but for me and my terrible attention span, I just needed better pacing. Anyway, Throne of Glass. I'm gonna say it was good. I go to the back end of it was good. I'm tempted to put it in the top end of okay, but I felt like that'd spark way too much controversy, and like when I read it, I enjoyed it. Thinking back, would I reread it and would I enjoy it as much? No, but anyway, Deadly Education, DNF. I have nothing to say about this. I read the first 30 pages and gave up, so I can't really comment. DNF. Belladonna. This was really popular a few years ago, and I know that book 2 and 3 have come out since I've read book 1. It's not that I DNF'd it, it's just that when I read it, the second and third book weren't out yet, so it won't go in the DNF, it's just gonna go in the eh. I'd put it at the top end of eh. This is like a 2.9 or like a 2.7, maybe not quite a 3 star. It was okay. Yeah, I just feel like I wanted more of the like crime solving murder mystery aspect of it. It kind of was a bit boring. Butcher and Blackbird. Yeah, no, you're going in book jail. Butcher and Blackbird. If you've read it, all I'm going to say for my justification is eyeballs and the ice cream scene. So, book jail. Never again. 9 Lives is eh. The back end of eh. It's so unremarkable. I can't even remember the plot except that 9 people like died, and then in the end the killer like killed himself. So It was so lackluster. I can't remember anything else. King of Battle and Blood. I can't even remember this book. It's gonna go in eh. I know it was about a vampire guy and his mistress, and like a battle was going on, there was a war, and her like dad sold her to the vampire guy to make peace between the kingdoms. I don't know. It was really popular when it came out. Again, book 2 has come out. I won't be reading it. Red Rising. Okay, I read this last week and I read book 2 like a few days ago and I'm halfway through book 3. This is going in the it was good like top end. Like top end. I haven't given book 1 or 2 5 stars and I'm holding out for book 3. But for now, it's really good. So this is about a guy named Darrow who is a red, and reds are like the bottom tier of society. They are basically slaves, and at the top we have gold, and they are like the ruling faction over society, and Darrow is pretending to be a gold, infiltrating society and trying to start a revolution to turn everything on its head. It's in space. It's in space, which is cool. All right, One Dark Window. That is going in okay. Now, this is like kind of controversial because everyone was saying this was amazing. You know what? Yeah, it can stay there. I gave this 3 stars and I gave book 2 3 stars. It wasn't phenomenal. It didn't give me that like that freshness and that like excitement that I would expect from a fantasy. The pacing was bad. You know what? No, I'm not going to talk too much about it because it will be in my July reading recap book video. So that's all I'm going to give you for now, but it was okay. Of City of Gods and Monsters. Yeah, that's in the DNF. I didn't finish it. It's a duology, I believe, and it's like Crescent City, but way worse. Like, it's like emo Crescent City fan fiction, so do with that information what you will. Secret History, that's a must read. I would put that here in front of Thursday Murder Club. Secret History is so good. It's just cozy and dark and there's secrets and I love the characters and I love the layers to the characters. And I love how relatable the main character is in like his confusion constantly of what's happening, which is so me, but anyway, Secret History is so good, and that is still really popular. Like, I still see people recommending Secret History all the time, so a good book. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies was okay. I'd put that in between One Dark Window and Caraval. It was cozy. I found the pacing to be a little bit slow, but the ideas in it were really fresh, which I like, so very good. Lost Apothecary is maybe like here. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. Like, it's about a lady who is a poisoner and she helps women get revenge on their unfaithful husbands or things like that. And there's also like a secondary timeline in present day where this lawyer is trying to find herself, but you know what? I don't know. It wasn't that good. 6 Crimson Cranes is okay. I would put this here. Yeah, it was fine. I haven't read book 2 yet. I really want to because I did enjoy book 1. I just feel like I read it so long ago that I probably wouldn't appreciate book 2 as much, so maybe I need to do a reread. Okay, It Ends With Us is going in book jail. Probably like the top end of book jail because it's not as bad as the other 3. The themes in It Ends With Us really irk me and I hate the main character, Lily Bloom, who is a florist. Lily Bloom. That's stupid. I don't want to... If you know, you know, but It Ends With Us is 100% book jail. Oh, Shadow of the Gods. This is so good. This is gonna go... Yeah, at the top end of it was good. Not a 5-star read. It was a 4-star read, but like I would still definitely recommend this. The trilogy isn't complete yet. Book 3 is coming out at the end of this year. I am so excited because I am convinced book 3 will be a 5-star read. I love the direction that John Gwynne is taking this trilogy and I love the characters and I love the action. So I'm so excited for book 3. One of Us Is Lying. That's One of Us Is Lying is like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but bad. Not bad, it's just, anyway, this can go, you know what, it can go at the top end of I think I would prefer it the most out of everything else in that category. This was trending a few years ago and it actually got made into a TV show. Haven't watched the TV show, won't watch the TV show. The books, they were okay. Wild Love, that is a DNF, did not finish it. Got about just over halfway, so I'd put this actually at the top end of DNF. I would take Wild Love over these ones any day of the week. Fourth Wing, that's going to go in the okay, and it's going to go in between Caraval and Serpent and the Wings of Night. It was fine. I gave it 3 stars. Is it amazing? No. But it's definitely not the worst thing I've ever read, and I do plan on reading the second book, Iron Flame, because book 3 is coming out next year, so I need to, like, catch up and prepare. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This was so popular when it came out. Everyone was saying this is like 5 stars. Now, I read this book in a 7-hour tattoo appointment. So my brain probably wasn't functioning at full capacity because of the searing pain on my body. But so I read this in one sitting. I'm going to put this in It Was Good, in between Throne of Glass and Night Angel Nemesis, because it was good. It was a 4-star read, maybe like a 3.7. No, we'll give it a 4. Yeah, a 4. It was good. I liked the ending. It didn't go the way I was expecting. However, I found like the first 40% of the book to just be so boring with the constant time jumps back and forth between the time periods. But again, take it with a grain of salt. I read this in one sitting at a tattoo appointment, so I don't know. Okay, ACOTAR. I feel like everyone's read this. Everyone loves this. I'm gonna put it I put it here. Overall, I loved the series when I read it. I thought it was like the bee's knees. However, upon reflection, I do not think it is a must read. I think as an introduction to fantasy, if you're usually not a fantasy reader, I think it's a really great starting point. However, in my fantasy elitist brain, I do not think it is all that in a bag of chips. So, Kingdom of the Wicked. Book, DNF. I didn't finish it. Didn't even finish book 1. I really can't comment. This is gonna go here. Yeah, I didn't finish it. I don't plan on finishing it. The whole thing about her and the recipes, because the main character was like a chef or something, like a I don't know, but the whole thing, every time something happened, she'd be like, this reminds me of a recipe that my grandmother taught me. I'm like, how? Like, no, the whole recipe thing, and like I was just so sick of the overused like shadow daddy trope that is in every single romantasy book. So that was a DNF. Best Served Cold. This is book 4 chronologically in the First Law world by Joe Abercrombie. It was good. This is gonna go between Red Rising and Night Angel Nemesis. I loved Best Served Cold, but did I give that 5 stars? I have to consult my Goodreads. Hang on. Okay, no, I gave it 4 stars. Good. Okay. It was good. Not amazing. It didn't give me that like pizzazz and awe that the book 2 and 3 in the First Law trilogy gave me. But, you know, it was a really intentional book. It definitely was necessary because it plugged a lot of gaps in the narrative and like progressing forward to the next trilogy. So it was good. I would recommend it It is a standalone. I wouldn't recommend this as a standalone if you've never read the First Law universe before, because it probably wouldn't make as much sense as it could, and you might not appreciate it for like what it really is. So definitely read the first trilogy first. Tender as the Flesh. I don't know why I read this. It's a book about cannibalism, except it's supposed to be disgusting and it's supposed to make you reflect on everything. So it's basically like a dystopian world where instead of eating like cattle and things like that, the people just like ate people, and they had like human cattle farms where humans were specifically bred just to be eaten. It made me so uncomfortable, but I loved it. You know what? Let's give this... Oh. This is a must read. But like the back end of must read. I think everyone should read this just because I would love to see how uncomfortable it would make some people. Like this had good plot twists. I enjoyed this. It's really, really short. I think it's like 230 pages, but it's a must read. Okay, Gothic Kana. This is like back end of maybe like here. Gothic Kana is like a dark academia romance book. It had some fantasy elements, but it wasn't strictly a fantasy, and there was just no explanation as to how these fantasy elements were possible because the rest of the story and the rest of the world was like modern day-to-day sort of setting. So I was confused by this book. I didn't like the main characters in this book. I thought they were really irritating, and there was supposed to be like this professor-student like trope going on, except the professor was like the same age as her, and he was like really emo, and I was like, I don't think this is giving what it tried to give. And I actually think I hate the professor-student trope. I think that's horrible. So it's going in the back end of Like, I gave it 2 stars, so that's really fitting. Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is a must read. This is going here. And this recently got made into a TV show, which I watched, and I enjoyed it, even though it was different. So I read the UK publication of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because I know the American publication is like very different in the story. I would recommend this. It is so fun. I love the main character. I love the banter in this book. It actually kept me guessing the whole way through the trilogy. 100%. Holly Jackson, you ate with this book. This is a must read. Joe Abercrombie, The Heroes. This was good, okay? This probably is going to go here. Not a 5-star read, but still really good. So this is book 5 in the First Law world chronologically. Again, not phenomenal, but I really enjoyed it, and it kept me guessing, and I loved how fast-paced this book was. So again, wouldn't recommend it to read it as a standalone, but I would still recommend it. The Way of Shadows. This is such a must read. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite trilogy ever. So this is the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks. I've spoken about it so many times. Just read it, okay? Just read it. The Love Hypothesis. Yeah. This is a yeah, that can go there. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Priory of the Orange Tree. That is a must read. That's going there. Priory of the Orange Tree is so good. Standalone fantasy, fresh new fantasy world and setting, and amazing characters. That's all I'm going to say. Homeland. This is the Drizzt series. Not a popular series. I just wanted to include it. This was okay. I like D&D though, so you know what? This is going like, that's going like there. First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. Must read. You're going right there. Phenomenal work. Amazing. I spoke about this in my last video, so go there if you want to hear me rant about it. Serpent and Dove. I actually DNF'd this series, so it's going to go at the top of DNF. I read book 1 and 2, and I DNF'd the last sort of quarter of book 3. I just lost momentum. I lost attachment to it. I just found myself not caring about it anymore. I feel like the stakes weren't high because every time someone died, they just came back to life, which, yeah. I mean, it was really good. I loved book 1 and 2, but book 3 just didn't hit, so I DNF'd that. Empire of the Vampire is a must read. That is so good. I'm going to put that here. Again, I spoke about this in a... No, I haven't spoken about this. Anyway, it's vampires meets The Witcher, so wrap your little fingers around that and go read this. Ranger's Apprentice. This is popular because everybody as a kid read this. So I'm going to put it in must read. It's going there. Ranger's Apprentice is like the bread and butter of kids fantasy. It slaps so hard, and I did a reread of this as an adult last year and it's still 8, so 100% would recommend. Guild is a DNF. I never finished the series. It's going here because I actually found the characters and the tropes to be abhorrent. So, no more. Housekeepers, DNF. Got 25 pages in, so I can't really comment on that. Crescent City is going into book jail. Except it's gonna go at the top end of book jail. Only because of book 3. Now, if you've read book 3, you'll know what I was talking about. It was like a really bad Avengers crossover, but like a cash grab, but also like everybody lived happily ever after, but they really shouldn't have. Book 3 was so dodgy, so book jail. Daughter of the No Worlds. Or Daughter of No Worlds, I'm pretty sure it's called. I don't know where to put this. It's gonna go here. Right there. Yeah, it was fine. Wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It just felt like every other romantasy book ever written, so I have no issues with it, but wouldn't read it again. Okay, the last book we're going to be ranking is the You series by Caroline Kepnes. Now, this show, the TV show, is so popular. Let me tell you, the books are even better. I didn't even finish the book series. I read book 1, 2, and 3, and I think I just like stopped reading halfway through book 4. Not because it was bad, but I just started reading a different book, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to put this in It Was Good, but like here, because You is really good. It's very different to the show. It's darker than the show, but I still really enjoyed it. Alrighty, so these are our official rankings. Please comment down below if you agree, if you disagree, if you are outraged by my choices. But I think that these choices, sorry, I'm just stopping the recording. That was so fun. I would love to do this again at the end of the year with like maybe my favorite books or like, anyway, I'd love to do this again. That was so fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and were entertained by it maybe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.